you, here we begin with the fourth class for our CMA final. And this is very much in sync with the pattern and weightage how your exam is. Yeah, some of you had queries looking at the timetable ki ma'am, how we will be completing everything. So the chapters are divided into two ways. One is theory, one is practical that way. And another is MAT, charitable trust, AMT, or transfer pricing, non-resident. These are the topics weightage wise, they are very important. See, in the professional exam as a teacher, I can teach you everything and it will go out for 200, 300 hours, which you will not be able to learn it for your final exam. So it's not that we are going to skip the portion, but some smart work we will do. If MAT required 7 to 8 classes also we will take, but there are topic like rates, search, where it is procedure based. Just know the procedure so that some questions will come and you will be able to solve it. So like this, the hierarchy will be to cover up the major things, the minor things, everything with that ABC analysis, what we do in costing. Okay. And for this Sunday's exam, the portion is over. Today is Tuesday. Coming Sunday, you have exam for all your basics with lot of weightage on marginal relief, unutilized basic exemption, amendment in surcharge rates, your AMT, your new tax regime. Okay? Yes. Theory, MCQs, questions, everything will be there in the upcoming exam. Okay? Yesterday, we have done alternative minimum tax. As you say, today's topic is return of income. I'm starting that along with amendment also. You want to revise AMT or you have some doubt in AMT and you want to ask, then please go ahead. Any doubts are there in the AMT topic? No? All clear? No doubts? Alternative minimum tax, just the conditions we should know for MCQs. It is applicable to all the SSCs except company. In case of partnership firm and LLP, AMT is applicable only if the adjusted total income exceeds 20 lakhs. For sorry, reverse I said. For all the SSCs, individual, HF and all, AMT is applicable if adjusted total income exceeds 20 lakhs. For others, LLP and firm, whether the whatever may be the adjusted total income, AMT is applicable. Concept of AMT says that minimum this much tax you should pay. Okay. What I am revising should be your mindset also, dear students, to revise it again and again. It says that suppose your income is huge, 5 crore, but either you have availed 80 I series deduction or you have taken section 10 AA exemption. Total profit, total turnover. Export turnover, export profit, that cross multiplication. So either you have taken 80 I series deduction or you have taken this section 10 AA exemption or 35 AD specified businesses you have taken a deduction. So add back that. And when you add back 35 AD capital expenditure building and all, you are allowed to deduct depreciation. Now what profit you get on this profit, minimum you should pay 18.5% tax. If it is IFSC, International Financial Service Center, it's a kind of bank located in SEZ, 9%. And from this year, cooperative societies are going to pay AMT not at 18.5%, at 15%, like for companies. So this amendment in your material top, can you write it? They can ask you this in MCQs because this is the most important amendment. Okay. So calculate your AMT, calculate your normal tax, whichever is higher you need to pay. If your normal tax is 3 rupees, AMT is 5 rupees, you have to pay 5 rupees. But your actual tax is 3 rupees. So 2 rupees what you have paid extra, you can take a tax credit and you can carry it forward for 15 years to set off. When normal tax is high, then AMT. Next year AMT is 7. Your normal tax is say 15. So up to 8 rupees you can use the tax credit and set off. This is all the concept. Okay, one clarification I wanted to give for that problem number 5th, I think. One second. Huh? One part we missed out taking for that. Please come back. 6th problem. 6th problem. One part we missed out discussing yesterday. You remember 6th problem we did in class yesterday? कल किया था हमने 6th problem. In the 6th problem, we have done everything, deductions and all, but we missed discussing the second part. Will the amount of tax payable change if Vicky LLP is an overseas entity? Even if it is an overseas entity, AMT is applicable. Overseas entities are generally all related to export and all. So definitely AMT is applicable and your tax will be same. You can write this as answer. Question number 6, first bit I did it in class only, second bit I missed out. Okay. Please unmute and speak up irrespective of recording going on, no problem. No, today is the last one. From tomorrow, we won't be putting any recordings in the YouTube. If it is there in YouTube, you can watch it there so that you can save your view hours in the app. But this is the last one. From tomorrow, it will be only for our students. Please ask. Any doubts are there or is it all clear to all of you? Clear? AMT? AMT is coming not only in CMA final, even if you see the CA final exam, AMT not alone because it's very easy, but with combinations, normal tax or AMT or new tax regime. Some way they are combining and asking a nice problem. So your RTPs, your mock test, your final exam is having this topic which is very scoring. I always say, dear students, if there is something very tough, ma'am, this time DT paper was what not they asked and all. Even if it is tough for 50 marks, there are definitely something very easy and scoring problems which will fetch you 50 marks. That's what is AMT. That's what is return of income. Shall we start? Huh? You all are watching from laptop. If you keep messaging, I will also know how much you all have followed. So is it clear to all of you, ready to go for the topic called as return of income? Yes? Yes, ma'am. Thank you. Now listen, we are starting with the topic return of income, which frankly speaking, you all must be remembering your inter classes, CA inter or CMA inter. Return of income was done at the end. When you completed all the heads, computation of income, TDS, last work for the SSE is filing the return. Bye-bye. My job is over. Now assessment procedure, the raid, appeals, tribunal, this is all department side chapters, what you are doing in final. In return of income at final level, this topic weightage is 4 to 6 marks in MCQs. And best part is there is no jumbo problem as they ask in trust or in MAT. Transfer pricing. This time they asked very nice problem. This January 23 exam, they asked the problem of combination, like two transfer pricing they got. So which one you should take or average, all that was there. So, you know, there is no creativity in the topic called return of income. Second plus point is return of income have very clear mindset. Whatever they will give, you know, it will be like bit questions. If return of income, one question is for 4 marks, it will surely have 1 mark, 4 bit. More scoring, 1 bit goes wrong, 3 are yours. Mindset. Now, return of income and inter what you have done, again we will revise in final because that is important. And along with this, every now and then in between the return of income, I'll tell you case studies and I will tell you the questions how they are putting up in the exam. So it's not कि पहले पूरा पढ़ लेते हैं फिर कल एक साथ question करेंगे. We might not complete return of income today, but whatever we will do related to that, how they are asking the questions, we will do here itself. And I don't think I need to go to notebooks because there are no jumbo problems. I'll write it here. If you want, you can write it in your material and anyone, all the materials are being couriered today morning. It's all done at 10 o'clock. You might get it by tomorrow, then you can write in a running notebook. Question number 7, this is the answer. 3, this is the answer. Okay. Two very important amendments are there. So let us start with that amendment's name in your notebook. One is updated return concept. But if I directly start with updated return, you might not follow. Some of you have had gap of 2 years now since you wrote your inter. So please write and keep updated return is very important. Second is there are cases wherein you have to file your return mandatory. So some more cases have been added in that, which makes it necessary for you to file your own voluntary return. So out of that, one will surely come in MCQ. So these are two amendments. One is added cases wherein filing of the return is mandatory. 3 cases they have added wherein getting the PAN card is mandatory. Already 5 cases are there. That also I'll revise and 3 more added. And third is your updated return. So with this, and we are already in the March end. So you all know everyone's status is full of the sign. Link your PAN and Aadhaar. Otherwise 234H. So kabhi na, it's not that reading is only in Dipti ma'am's class or in your app or in the videos, right? Reading is around us. It's like 234H. Har jagah dikh raha hai. And yesterday's paper, Times of India, half page ad. I'll click the picture and send you. They have sent for updated return. Because for 2021, you can file the updated return. So all conditions, everything they have mentioned. So that is the fun part and the practical part of studying this topic. Okay, right. Any doubts are there, please ask me. Open your material. We are on page number 95. Straight page number 95. Filing the return we are doing. This material is made according to your syllabus, and one thing I don't like, but even international taxation which is segregated in your material to pura mila jula ke they have given. One second. Huh? All right, here we begin with return of income. Okay, right. So now let us quickly first revise this part. Listen, all of you. Return of income is SSC's declaration. So 5 heads of income, I have earned this, others income club this, these are my deductions, this is my tax, this is the TDS advanced tax, and this is the self-assessment tax and all. So it's like a declaration. So every year, everyone is earning as an SSC. So they should self-make their calculation on a chitta and give it to department. Department will go mad. Everyone will give in their own format. So they have made a form like, you know, when you want to make application, you all have made application in concept classes in a fixed form, because I don't want you to say okay, come into my classes and give all your details. Your details may be different and what I want may be different. So income tax department is issuing Saral, Sugam, all these forms, ITR 1 to 7 all, and these forms you have to fill up according to your category. Which category you are filing the return? Are you having business head income? Are you a company? Or are you filing the return under presumptive taxation? So you fill up the form and fill all the columns correctly and upload it. All the returns are now uploaded in e-form, that is electronic form, on the portal. Okay. Now, the topic which I'm starting now is who is going to file the return mandatory. Compulsory he should file the return. So to start with, without looking there, like we should be super duper clear about it. Companies, LLPs, they need partnership firm and all. They need to file the return of income irrespective of their turnover, irrespective of their income, and in case of company, irrespective of whether they have commenced the business or not. So many times companies are like in pre-operative mode, right? Just they are taking SIN number, DIN number, memorandum articles, right? Till March only this much work is done. Still, do they need to file the return? Answer is yes. Other than this, all the other individuals, HUFs, your trust and all, they need to file the return if before giving deductions, ATC to ATU deductions, their income exceeds basic exemption. So can I say your gross total income minus deduction is your total income? So your gross total income is before the deduction. If it exceeds 2,50,000, file your return. I am an SSE. Look at the screen and I'm explaining in my own way. And please give a feedback. Today I'm taking it differently. I'm not much reading. Material is there. You can also read. Understand the concept so that that analytical skill is clear and the case study you will be able to answer. So my income is 4 lakh rupees. Gross total income. 150 I have put in PPF, ATC deduction. How much it is coming now? 4 lakh में से 150 गया तो कितना आया? 2,50,000. And 50,000 I have put in national pension scheme. For that you get added deduction. 20,000 I have paid ATD, Mediclaim. 10,000 I have got interest deduction, ATTTA, ATTTB, that wala. So like this, my taxable income is 2 lakh rupees. What is the tax on 2 lakh? Nil. So you come out of that myth and people around you also should know filing the return has got nothing to do with how much tax. अरे मेरा तो इस बार टैक्स निल है, मुझे तो रिटर्न फाइल करने की जरूरत नहीं. It's not like that. Before claiming all these deductions, ATC to ATU, what was my income? 4 lakh. Is it above basic exemption 2,50,000? Yes, you need to file the return. Okay. So 4 marks questions are asked, 4 bits. In these cases, are you required to file the return or not? And you can score easily the marks in that. है ना? चलो साथ में करते हैं. Yeah. So return of income, can you read please on your own the first line? Who should file the return of income and all? थोड़ा पढ़ो खुद से. Return of income is the format in which SSC furnishes information as to its total income and all. Okay. ठीक है? Now, voluntary return. मतलब on their own. No one should tell them that file your return. They need to file it. Every company firm should file the return of income. Filing of return shall be mandatory in case of SSEs who are company and firm, irrespective of whether the business has commenced or not, P&L account is drawn or not. See, if they are in pre-operative stage, abhi to company ka number, directors apna DIN number le rahe hain, so they may not have P&L. Still, they have to file the return, whether there is profit or loss. Individual HAF, AOP, BOI, HAP, if they have to file their return if total income before giving exemption under 10 AA or 54. You remember 54 exemption? There is capital gain. You sell the house, buy the house. 54 B, D, E, C, all. Or deductions under chapter 6A exceeds the maximum amount not chargeable to tax. So I want all of you to write the example. Example, DC is having GTI. I want you to write this so that you know it will be fitted in your mind. DC is having gross total income 4 lakhs. ATC to ATU, I have availed some different deductions 2 lakh. And my TI total income is 2 lakh. Do I need to file the return? Answer is yes. Because before availing the deduction, how much was my income? 4 lakh. Same way, I don't have any other income except long-term capital gain, 8 lakhs by selling a house. But I have purchased another house. So 54 mein I have got exemption, 8 lakhs. And my income is nil. Should I file the return? Answer is yes. Ma'am, but my tax is nil. Ghar kharida, ghar becha. And I have not done anything. I have not earned anything. But before availing the 54 exemption, was my income above the basic exemption? Answer is yes. Can you please note down this example? You want separately time or running way the way I am giving? This will give you the mind frame that, but yay, these are like 2 problems. They'll give the names, they'll give so and so person is receiving pension and all and should he file the return? Yeah. Can you respond in chat box if this is clear? This is the way you have to do. Yeah, this many times is asked. Every resident and ordinary resident, we call them what? ROR. You remember residential status vertical. Resident and ordinary resident should pay the tax on world income. Received in India, deemed to be received, accrued, deemed to accrue, and business controlled from India and all. So person who at any time during the previous year holds as a beneficial owner or otherwise any asset including any financial interest located outside India or has a signing authority. Forget about what is your income. You are RNOR and you are beneficial owner of asset outside India. I am resident and ordinary resident of India. I am very well staying in Hyderabad. I have one house in London. Am I having asset in London? Yes. Including financial interest in entity means I want all of you to write here example partnership firm in London. There's a partnership firm in London and I am one of the partner. Am I having financial interest in entity outside India? Yes. Or signing authority in any account. I don't go out of India, nothing. But I just have a bank account in Sweden and in Russia and some countries. Just a bank account. Am I having a signing authority outside India? Yes. Forget about your income. You should file the return. Because they want to know how much TDS is deducted and all and all. Next. Sometimes you are not the beneficial owner. एक बार पहले इसका beneficial owner का meaning समझ लेते हैं. Beneficial owner in respect of asset or individual who has provided directly or indirectly consideration for assets for immediate or future benefit, direct or indirect of himself or any other. So beneficial owner is like he is the owner. And why we call it as beneficial owner? Huh? Sometimes say the house is belonging to my grandfather. Okay, not to me. But my grandfather has made a will that all the rental incomes and capital gain, everything will be taken care by Dipti and Dipti is legally the beneficiary. So I am not the legal owner. Legal owner is my Dadaji. But he said that all the rental income capital gain I should enjoy. So I am being what? Beneficial owner. Second, he is a beneficiary of any asset, including any financial interest in any entity located outside India. Either you are the beneficial owner or you are the beneficiary. Individual being beneficiary of any asset located outside India, where income, if any, arising from such asset is includable in income of person referred 1A, it will not be required to. If the tax is already paid in India by beneficial owner, say Dadaji, then I am the beneficiary. As a beneficiary, double taxation will not come. What is meaning of beneficiary? In respect of asset means individual who derives benefit from the asset. So this house is owned by my grandfather. Grandfather has made me beneficiary and he says all the rental income and if you want to sell the house, all capital gain you keep, you enjoy. Sale value भी आपका सब आपका. घर दादाजी का है but I am getting and enjoying all the rental income. So as a beneficiary, am I getting rental income? Yes. Should I pay the tax in income from house property? Yes. But listen, if my grandfather is also beneficial owner and he's paying the tax on this asset as a beneficial owner, then as a beneficiary, should I also pay the tax? Answer is no. Are you all confused or you want me to repeat or you want time to read? Bolo, respond. Check the 2 points. And if it is all clear, put the message AC, 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 all clear. It's very simple. You read it twice, it will be clear. Clear? Beneficial owner means I am only having asset, or I am only a partner in a partnership firm, or I am having the bank account. I am the owner. Beneficiary, someone else is the owner, but all the rental incomes, all the benefit is coming to me. Like we do it in the transfer of asset out of love and affection and all. We do it in clubbing like that. So we'll have to file the return provided we are resident and ordinary resident. Clear? So let us move on to the next part. Compulsory filing of return, and here these are the amendments. Mark it very important for MCQs. Compulsory filing of the return high value transactions in the 7th proviso to 139(1). There are cases where forget about the income, forget about the type of SSC you are beneficial, ye wo ho. If you come in this criteria, you have to file the return. First one, any person other than company and firm who is not required to file the return, you are an individual or HUF and you are not required to file the return, would have to file the return before the due date if he has deposited amount of 1 crore in one or more current account. In your business current account, one or more, say 2-3 accounts are there, mila ke, if you have deposited cash 1 crore. See, government wants you to do cashless transactions. So if you have deposited more than 1 crore, you need to pay the, you need to file the return. Second is, if expenditure is incurred exceeding 2 lakh for foreign travel for himself or any family member. And you will say, yeah, ma'am, last year we went to Thailand and Bali. We incurred 3 lakh expense, but we have not shown. So everyone knows now. Annual information statement, AIS. Your annual information statement is going to department, and by just a click, 26 AS. 26 AS is like your locker, with government, income tax department. I'm calling it locker. It's just an online account where by click of my PAN card, you can get to know what are the TDS, TCS by different people deducted and foreign travels, how much turnover I have shown in the GST return. It should match with income tax. In my income tax 26 AS, it will be auto dropped. Yeah. See, I told you annual information statement. In your material, we will do it in some other topic. Miscellaneous provision में पढ़ेंगे और इसको बोलते हैं specified financial transaction. These are high value transactions and these will automatically come. Because if I'm traveling to some countries, foreign country, US, I'm going with my family, I'm incurring 5 lakh rupees. तो मुझे currency तो चाहिए ना. If I convert the currency, that currency wala will only give to department. Dipti Chheda with this PAN card has traveled abroad and got the converted currency of 5 lakh. So it's auto dropped ki 5 lakh rupees I have spent. So once again, what are the cases wherein irrespective of your income, you have to file the return? If you have deposited in one or more current account, 1 crore or more cash, 2 lakh or more you have spent in foreign country, and your electricity bill is 1 lakh or more. Yeah. If you're using too many ACs, per month bill is 10,000, it will cross 120 yearly and you have to file the return. More conditions have been added in Rule 12AB from this financial year. All the amendments in your material are printed in bold like this, and at the end they are given all together also. So weightage wise also you can study. If the turnover or gross receipts of business exceeds 60 lakhs, take a pause. 1 crore ke above tax audit is necessary. But if your turnover exceeds 60 lakhs, you have to file your return. If you are a professional and there is no turnover, then your gross receipts exceeds 10 lakhs. If your TDS is deducted 25,000, not by a single person, by anyone throughout the year. थोड़ा बैंक में FDA वहां TDS कटा, किसी ने कमीशन दिया, कहीं लॉटरी लगा, whatever. Or if you are a senior citizen and your TDS is 50,000. Deposit in one or more saving account more than 50 lakhs. So in current account, how much you have deposited? More than 1 crore. And in saving account, how much you have deposited? 50 lakhs. All these conditions are or. Then they have to file the return before due date and verified in such manner and all. Is this clear to all of you? Take a pause. Any conflict in your mind, ask, or take 2 minutes and read it now. I'm here only. Pucho. Easy? I know these are like little bit of figures, but if you just, in our time when I was a student, 97, I cleared my this CA inter, and 99 I cleared my finance. So 97 when I was doing CA inter, audit ka limit is 60 lakhs tha. If your turnover exceeds 60 lakhs, you get audit. Now it is 1 crore. Under 44 AD and all, it is 2 crores. So if your turnover exceeds 60 lakhs, file return. Your gross receipts exceed 10 lakh, file return. Saving account, if you deposit more than 50 lakhs, file return. Cash deposit in current account more than 1 crore, file return. Electricity bill above 1 lakh. And foreign travel, you have spent more than 2 lakhs. TDS, TCS deducted is 25,000, or in case of senior citizen, it is 50,000. These are the cases wherein it is mandatory to file return. Yes, clear to all of you? Yeah, we'll go to some of the more concepts and then directly we will shift to the Q&As also for this. Yeah, this I have written as latest amendment, but this is not the amendment of financial year 22-23. This is amendment of 21-22, but still very important. And related to this, if you want, write down here TDS 194P. TDS में भी एक section add किया. Now what is this? This is very nice. You all know senior citizen above 60, when they retire from their job, they get pension every month in the bank account. Is pension income taxable? Yes or no? I want some response from all of you. And if yes, under which head of income? Bolo. Is pension income taxable? If yes, under which head? And how is it different from family pension? इतना सारा टाइप करने की जरूरत नहीं है. You can unmute and speak up. And when I'm asking you, I'm not testing your knowledge, dear students. I want you to think deep. Exam oriented भी करेंगे, practical भी पढ़ेंगे, and link up this with your heads of income. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Not few, all should answer. Where is it taxable? Pension income is taxable under which head? Both the answers are correct. So many of you are answering pension income is taxable under the head. देखो करते करते सब पढ़ लेना है साथ में. And I hope when I teach like this कि मैम रिटर्न है तो बस रिटर्न ही पढ़ाइए. अरे 3 घंटे का पेपर you have to write. Pension when you receive as a retired employee, it is very well taxable under salary. Shall we write it here? I'm तो writing it here, but I want all of you also to write. ताकि ना आप कभी घर में देखे तो याद आना चाहिए. Retired employee receiving pension, income from salary. But if the employee is deceased and family members receive family pension, it will be taxable under income from other sources. In your final paper, 20 marks MCQ, 10 marks, 5 MCQs are from inter. One they'll pick from house property, one capital gain, one other source. तो ऐसे ही question पूछते हैं. That's why I'll be doing this toppings in between. Clarity you all got now? Pension is taxable as income. But if I receive pension for myself, even if I retire, it's income from salary, because the reason I'm getting pension is employer-employee relationship. Ma'am, standard deduction मिलेगा क्या pension में? बिल्कुल मिलेगा. How much? 50,000 rupees. So suppose you are a senior citizen who are receiving pension in the bank account. Your employer is putting money in the bank. In the same bank, you make FDs, and FDs interest is coming. You don't have any other income. Such senior citizen above, normally senior citizen is above what age, dear student? 60 years. Here they said senior citizen above 75 years and having only pension income and interest income from the same bank. Okay. In that case, they are not required to file the ITI. He should furnish to bank all the details. They will not file their return. They will give their pension, interest, all the details with to bank. Bank will deduct TDS. It's not written here. That's why I made you write 194 P May. Bank will deduct TDS, like whatever is their tax, divide by 12 karke bank will deduct. So bank will compute the tax after considering deductions, rebate, if any. Bank will compute proper taxable income. Tax thereon, divide by 12, they will deduct the TDS at rates in force. See, this is also asked. 194P TDS is deducted at 5%, 20%, rate in force, nil. So rate in force. Rate in force is average rate. I am getting 8 lakh rupees pension, 1 lakh rupees interest income, 9 lakh. अब 9 lakh पे तो rebate नहीं आएगा, तो जो भी tax आएगा divide by 12. That's what is relief to senior citizen. And what is the age criteria? I said 75 years. So now we are clear who should file the return. Okay. So the next question is due date of filing the return. When is the time you need to file your return? So for all the normal SSCs, it is 31st July. If you are required to report in 92A, 92 is transfer pricing. You are having some transactions with foreign countries, purchase, sales, services, interest, some transfer pricing transactions wherein you have to submit the report under 92E, then 30th of November. And if I am a partner in a firm which has to submit the return under 92E in 30th and November, then the partner of that firm, okay, also 30th of November. In all other cases where tax audit is there, tax audit करना है, 3CB form में report देना है, company other than company required to report in 92, 31st October. Person other than company whose accounts are required to be audited, 31st October. Partners of a firm. Now books of accounts are audited. After the audit is done, then only you can file the return and all of the partners. ना बनाने में तो time लगेगा ना. Audit report का due date is 30th of September. ना? It's not written here, but it's 30th of September. Audit ka due date. And once the audit is completed, partner of the firm or spouse of the partner, if provisions of 5A apply. Now, what is 5A? I will tell you. So they all will submit in 31st October. Is my speed fine? You all are able to grasp it? I don't think we'll be doing updated return everything क्योंकि नहीं तो बहुत ऐसे स्पीड में जा रहे हैं. ये सब भी जरूरी है करना. Because even if I'm taking 2 classes for this topic, I don't mind, but this is like 2 hours and your 4 to 6 marks are parked. Following until now, who will file the return in October? Jinka audit ho raha hai, and the partners. Those who are having international transactions, transfer pricing, November. All the other is individual, HF, all. 31st July. Done? Right. Now, what is this 5A and why 5A is written here? Okay. Right. There are some union territories like Goa, Daman, Diu, Dadra, and Nagar Haveli, where Portuguese civil code is applicable. You know, these were all Portuguese were only there earlier. That's why we have over there French colonies and all this. So Portuguese civil code was applicable. Still it is there. It says that income of husband and wife should be clubbed, divided by 2, and they should pay the tax. So it is apportioned income between spouse governed. Salary income belongs to person who has earned it. Except salary, all the other income earned by spouse is divided equally. So now listen. Mr. A is staying in Goa and he is a partner in the partnership firm. अब partnership firm का audit कब होगा? September में. And when the partnership firm will file the return? October. So Mr. A is a working partner. According to the profits of the firm, he will get the salary, the remuneration. Yes. And he will pay the, he will also file the return in 31st October. But as we said, according to the Portuguese Civil Code, Mr. A and Mrs. A is housewife or she is having some other source income. She takes some creativity classes and all, whatever. So Mrs. A's income and Mr. A's income is clubbed, put together, other than salary. And then divide by 2, half is taxable for A, half is taxable for Mrs. spouse. So Mrs. A cannot file the return unless Mr. A will get his remuneration from the partnership firm and divide it into 2. That's why I'm just explaining you for GK. Exam में ये सब इतना नहीं आता, section 5A and all. But you should know it. So if you want extra things, always I say at final level, you should understand for once and write R. R is for reading. Weightage wise not much important, but logic is clear or not. If you are in these union territories, whatever is your income, it is clubbed, divide by 2 and you have to file your return. So unless my husband's income doesn't come from partnership firm, how am I going to file the return? Simple. Right? Chalo. If you don't file the return on time, there are a lot of consequences we will see on next page. But one of the amendments since last year, they said 234F. They have told it as fees, but ये एक kind of penalty. मैम अगर रिटर्न नहीं भरे तो पेनल्टी लगेगा, हाँ. इंटरेस्ट लगेगा, हाँ. And all the other penalty, other consequences will be there. But 234F fee will be levied if the total income of person does not exceed 5 lakh, then 1,000. If the total income exceeds 5 lakh, then 5,000. Take a pause. Those who have studied last year from old material or my material only, it was like till December tak agar return bhare to itna, and like that it was. Ma'am, but if we don't furnish the return on time, we are going to pay 234A interest from the due date till the actual date of filing the return. Answer is yes, you will pay. But fees also you will pay. If your income is up to 5 lakh, total income does not exceed 5 lakh, then how much you will pay the fee? 1,000. If it exceeds 5 lakh, 5,000. December wala rule last year tak tha, is baar nahi hai. So anyone sitting in the class with that old frame, December tak if you file 1,000 and then, and no, that is not there. Now, in fact, all the belated and lost return and all, which I'm going to discuss in the next half an hour, for all of them, the return due date is your return date is December, late May late. So your financial year is 22-23. It is closing on March 23. Till December 23, you can file belated return and revised return. Nothing after that. Earlier, it was till next end of the assessment year, March 24. Abhi aayega. Clear hai? Chalo, let us take up this question. Any queries until now? All clear? Yeah. Definitely. I don't want all of you to be in front of screen more than 1 hour is over. Just let us complete this question. 2 minutes, 3 minutes break. Go off screen. Hawa kha ke aao, pani pi ke aao, and again we'll start. Mahesh, a resident and ordinary resident in India, is having house property income and bank account outside India, and he is not required to file return if total income is below the maximum amount not chargeable to tax. Is this statement correct? I want you all to answer. आज के ऐसे नहीं है चलो हम साथ में एएमटी का एक क्वेश्चन सॉल्व करेंगे कल जैसे किया था. नो, every chapter has a different way of teaching. I will teach raid and all into absolutely different way. So today you have to apply the knowledge and tell me Mahesh is having house property income and all below the taxable limit, and so is not required to file the return, but he is having one bank account outside India. Is this statement correct? Yes or no? Just answer yes or no in chat box. Unmute and speak up. Absolutely no problem. Bolo. What is the answer? Yes. Is the statement correct? Mahesh should not file the return or he should file the return? Such a easy question. Fast. Type and send. Or you can, yeah, इतना सारा टाइप करना नहीं हो रहा है अब जितना लिख रहे हो बहुत अच्छा है. You can unmute and say, yes, he is required to file the return. Very correct answer. Yes. So this statement is correct. Answer is no. Statement is not correct. Write down. I am writing it here. Can you please write in your notebook problem number 1 answer? No, statement is not correct. He is required to file the return. Yes, he is required to file the return. Required to file the return. Why? Because he is having signing authority outside India. As he is having signing authority outside India in bank, he is required to file the return. Okay. So just write the answer. Look at the next page. Questions are going to be very easy. Problem number 2, 3, 4. One concept, one problem, and some spaces I have left so that in this you can write nice examples which I will tell you according to the case studies. So we have completed 2 things. Who are the people who are required to file on their own mandatory return and what are the due dates? Okay. And if you don't file the return on time, then up to 5 lakhs, if your total income is 1,000, beyond 5 lakh, it is 5,000 is the penalty. Now, loss return. If there is loss, you should file the return on time to carry forward that loss under section 139(3). A loss sustained by SSE under business head, speculative business, owning and maintaining horse races, capital gain, and loss because of 35AD. 35AD is those specified businesses. It can be carried forward only if return is furnished within the time, due date. If you file late return, you cannot carry forward these losses to next year to set off. Okay, you all know all the losses can be carried forward for 8 years except the speculative and horse races which can be carried forward for 4 years. That will lapse if you file your return late. So those who are having losses, they will very carefully file their return on time. Yeah, except unabsorbed depreciation or loss under income from house property, which can be carried forward even if return is filed late. But return has to be filed. See, many times in house property, rental income is less, but interest on loan is more. So loss आता है house property में. Or loss because of the unabsorbed depreciation might be there. So these 2 losses can be carried forward and set off in the next year, even if you have filed the return late. This is many times asked in MCQs. Clear? Now, third point says losses can be set off even if filed late, only it cannot be carried forward. Now look at this. Actually, you all know, dear students, this whole chapter called this whole chapter is like a part of, you can say, tax management. You remember? Tax planning, tax evasion, tax management. So it's in the administration part ki you should pay your tax on time, you should file your return. So they are saying even if you file the return late, you can do the set off, but you cannot carry forward these losses. For example, I want you all to write your example. My business loss is 5 lakh and my house property income is 3 lakh. Can we set off business loss into house property income? Answer is yes. But say Mr. A is individual and he filed the return late. Late return he filed on 30 August 2023. For individual, what is the due date of filing the return on time? 31st July. But when did he file the return? 31st August. So he filed it late. So can he set off the loss still? Answer is yes. Set off allowed. So 3 lakh rupees business loss, can you set off in the house property income? Answer is yes. But business loss carried forward rupees 2 lakh NA not allowed. I want you to write this example. This is just an example, but इसी को बस case बना के देंगे. You write it the way I have written, and then if you have doubt, ask me. Okay, I'll explain once again. Listen. If you file the return late, you cannot carry forward the losses which you normally carry forward for 8 or 4 years. But even if you file the return late, can you do the set off? You will know. First we do intra-head set off, then we do inter-head section 70, 71 and all. And then we carry forward. This chapter set off carry forward revision lecture is there in the app. So you check that. It is in 3 phases. First, within the head you set off. If not, with other heads you set off. In that restriction is 1 and 3 are not friends. You cannot set off business loss with salary. If not, then carry forward. So suppose my business loss for the current year is 5 lakh. House property income is 3 lakh. Mr. A filed late return on 30th of August. Whereas for individual, the due date is July. Yes, still set off allowed. Can you set off business loss into house property income? Answer is yes. Loss is allowed to be set off even if return is filed late. But suppose loss I could set off only 3 lakh. Still business loss is there 2 lakhs which I want to carry forward. Answer is NA, not allowed. You cannot carry forward 2 lakh loss. It will lapse because you didn't file the return on time. Only house property and unabsorbed depreciation you can file on time. Now is this clear? Okay, no problem, dear. Or bolo. Others, if you are having any doubt, please ask. That's why I say attend it live. Some of you are like, हाँ ठीक है recording है ना बाद में देख लेंगे. And only these recordings are being put up in YouTube base level. Now from tomorrow, no. So you should attend live classes so that if you have any conflict in your mind, it will get cleared immediately. And that focus and learning is different. What you all are learning, dear students. Chalo. Next year, if the return is filed late, still can be set off. Still the loss can be set off when losses incurred, the return was filed time. अब इसका भी मैं example देती हूँ. देखो, business loss 5 lakh. Financial year 2020 and 21. Return filed on time. Business loss 5 lakh. Carry forward. Carry forward. I'm writing in brief just to make you understand. I hope clear. I am carrying forward the loss 5 lakh for the financial year 2021 and I filed the return on time. Now 21-22 nothing. Now this financial year 22-23 I am having business income 8 lakhs. I want to set off 5 lakh loss. Earlier years brought forward loss. I want to set off. Can I do so? Answer is yes. Even if return filed late, say 10th December 23. This year, the return is filed late. So this year, I cannot carry forward the loss. But this year, I have brought forward loss of 2021. And that year, I filed the return on time. So I can carry forward that 5 lakh loss. I get this study is like quite in depth. Without doing the third and fourth point also, your this topic is over. हाँ लॉस रिटर्न 2 मिनट में बता दिया है बिलेटेड रिटर्न and revised return and the topic is over. We are not doing overview study. These are the cases asked in exam. Just write this example. No, I'm here only and repeat and then ask me any doubt if you have. My attention is in explanation, so I'm writing CF and all. I hope clear. Carry forward the business loss 5 lakh from financial year 2021 and file the return on time. Now this year you want to set off that 5 lakh in your this current year's business income 8 lakhs. Is the set off allowed? Answer is yes. Even if this year's return is filed late, you can do the set off. Only thing is you cannot carry forward. ठीक है, clear है? चलो. This is also something very nice. You all should know. Are the examples clear or not? All of you should put the message. Huh? Sairani, Kasif, Ashwini, all of you, is it clear or not? This second example. And read it again at home. Tomorrow also I'll be taking return of income ka second part. That time you can ask. Condoning the delay in case of the loss return. CBDT has got a power to condo the delay in filing the return and having the carry forward losses. Monetary limit is prescribed. Now what is this? I'll tell you the story. Huh? क्या करें? You know, some cases pending in the court, some amalgamation or some type of cases are say pending in the court. NCLT में चलो एक केस बाकी है, सबको मालूम है, कंपनी लॉ का ट्रिब्यूनल है, वहां पे the case is pending and they are taking, say they took 3 years for judgment. After that says okay, a business loss of amalgamate, matlab earlier company which you have absorbed is allowed. You all know in amalgamation, I have business loss of 8 lakhs and I am getting merged in B company. Can my loss also be allowed to be set off in the B company? Answer is yes. But suppose this case was pending and they took 3 years. After that judgment came, okay, business loss, rupees 3 lakh, you can do set off. But time for filing the return for that 3 lakh is over. So delay is accepted and now with the late return also you can carry forward the loss and set off. ये allowed है in genuine cases and not by you, not by AO, but high authorities, CIT, Commissioner and PCIT, they have got the power to allow the return of losses up to 10 lakhs. 10 lakhs के ऊपर है, तो who is allowed to do that? 10 lakhs and above, then who is allowed to do it? Anyone. CCIT, Chief Commissioner of Income Tax and all, or otherwise CBDT is allowed if the loss is greater than 50 lakhs. Write down the case law name if you want to write. Lodhi Property. या केस लॉस का आपका पूरा एक चैप्टर ही है. One chapter is there for the case law. Now also we are discussing, and there also we'll discuss, so that this case law is related to which provision, which chapter. It will be like a second revision. Lodhi Property Company Limited versus Department of Revenue, in which one of their case was pending before the National Communal that National Company Law Tribunal ke paas, and where the judgment took time, and by that time the set off and carry forward timing was over. Still they will be allowed. Clear? Chalo. Let us see a question related to this. This is very nice, and I don't know what's so special about this that they are asking this for 2 times. AO issued a notice under 142(1) on December 23. Make it, some dates might be wrong, I'm changing it. 23, calling upon him to file the return. Okay, you all know that they can file the return. Once this filing of the return due date is over, then only, if you have not filed the return, the department is asking you, giving you the notice that okay, you file the return. So according to department's notice, you file the return, say in December 23. In response to said notice, SSC filed the return and claimed carry forward and earn. See, we told you, if you want to carry forward losses, file the return on time. Okay. Now what is happening? You are carrying forward the losses. Okay. And you are trying to set off. But in late return, your due date is 31st July 2023, which is over. You didn't file the return. Department gave you a notice that, okay, file the return in 142(1). Now, replying to the notice, you are filing late return. And in late return, because the department has asked us, we have filed, we are trying to set off all the losses. State whether the SSE would be entitled to carry forward these losses. What is your answer? Unmute करके बोलो, पूरा टाइप नहीं करना है. And even if it is wrong, I am here to correct you, but I want you all to answer. Are you feeling a difference? So many students, I don't know, please don't take it otherwise. They don't want to take a systematic coaching. They just want to rely, एक वीडियो इधर से देख लिया, एक उधर से देख लिया, एक यूट्यूब से देख लिया, एक सेल्फ स्टडी कर लिया, and then when the result comes, you end up getting marks which are not up to the mark, and you don't get the result. So just look at your inter-level coaching of loss return, belated return, 2 minute में खत्म हो जाते थे. And now we have gone so much in depth in 3rd, 4th, 5th point and this question. So this is what is required. This is MCQ, this is exam कि में important है, ये practically important है. All this linking up, so many things other than return I have discussed with all of you. All losses can be carried forward for 8 years, this for 5 years, and like that. AO said, so you filed late return, and in the late return, you are trying to push your business losses and unabsorbed depreciation. Which losses can be carried forward to next year even if you file your return late? House property and unabsorbed. So answer for this is what? Unabsorbed depreciation. Can they carry forward? Answer is yes. Can be carried forward even if return of income filed late. Write down in your notebook problem number 2 answer. Unabsorbed depreciation can be carried forward to be set off next year, even CF is carry forward. Even if return of income is filed late. Business loss cannot be carried forward. Business loss cannot be carried forward. It will lapse as return of income not filed on due date. Return of income not filed on due date. That is 31st July. Finish writing. Are you comfortable? This is a simple topic, so we are going like this. We have seen yesterday AMT, all problems we have solved. MAT, trust, all problems in notebook. Clear? Chalo, let us go to the next part now. And that is, I'm removing this answer. Belated, loss return, everything is over. Now it is the case of belated. Now belated return के अच्छे consequences है, ध्यान से सुनो. Belated return is, oh, you miss someone's birthday and you are wishing them belated happy birthday. Till how much time? Like that, belated return. You miss the due date of filing the return, that is July 23 for your financial year 22-23. Belated return you can file till December 23. Till last year, it was till the end of assessment year, March 24. Now they said 3 months before the end of the assessment year. December 23 is the last return for filing the belated return and the revised return. Okay, is this clear? So if you miss your due date, you can file belated return. Any person who has not furnished a return with the time limit allowed or by notice can file a belated return at any time before 3 months prior to the end of the relevant assessment year, before 31st December or before the completion of the regular assessment. Okay, for assessment year 23-24 it can be filed till December. Belated return can be filed only in case a person has not furnished his return on time. Can belated return be revised again? एक तो return late भरो. Instead of July, you filed your return in November. And now again you want to revise it. Is it possible? Answer is yes. If return is filed late, you need to pay 234F fees. You need to pay 234A interest. Your losses cannot be carried forward. But ठीक है, you're allowed to file the return late. As per your ATC chapter 6A, deductions will not be allowed. ATC to ATU deductions are allowed only if you file your return on time. Interest on refund is calculated from date of filing. Generally, you know, when you get refund, interest is calculated from 1st April till the due date of filing the return. Say I filed my return in 30 June. So 1st April to 30 June. But suppose instead of June to gaya, July to gaya, I am filing my return in November. Then they will not give you interest from April. They'll give you from July to November. You want example for this last point or clear? Interest on refund is generally given from April. But if I file late return, it will be given from the date of filing the return. Clear to all of you? Belated return. Late return can be filed till December. Belated return can be revised, yes. And all these are the consequences. Simran, whose income consists of salary income, only files return for assessment year 23 on 2nd April 24. Is the return valid? Answer is no. Because for 23-24, you have to file the return last by December 23, over and out. April 24, there is no chance of filing the return. If you miss this December, there's a concept of updated return. Is Sal say you introduce why updated return? That you can file. But that's a different concept, but belated return you cannot file. Then next one we are doing is revised return. You have filed some return, but if you have missed out, some clerical error is there. Can you revise the return? Yes. Answer is yes. There should be an omission, wrong statement in the original return. Ma'am, if original return is filed late, still can I revise? Yes. Original return, ये देखो यहाँ पे ऐसे लिख लो. Original return can be revised. Belated return can be revised. Revised return can be revised. Once you revise the return because you took turnover wrong, again you revise the return because you missed taking PPF deduction, again you revise the return because you missed showing your bank interest. So can you revise? Yes. Whichever is the last return, that will replace the original return. Can you please write this? Original return can be revised, belated return can be revised, revised return can be revised. अच्छा है, क्लियर है, पूछो कोई डाउट है तो. Revised return shall be filed before 3 months from the end of the assessment year, that is December, or completion of regular assessment, whichever is earlier. Revised return will be considered as having been filed when original return was filed. Effective return for the purpose of assessment is the return ultimately filed. Revised return replaces the original return. SSC is entitled to furnish a second revised return if SSC discovers any omission and all. A return filed in response to 142 cannot be revised. Star mark. You didn't furnish your return. Department gave you a notice and then you file the return. That return you cannot revise. And you know, one case law is there. I don't remember the name, but write down over here. Return can be. ये एक dialogue है, लिख लो. I'm saying also loudly. If you're not following my writing, just write it. Return can be revised by filing revised return, not by writing letter to department. You know, you cannot write letter to department. Oh, it's a very small silly mistake, sir. Please excuse me. Can you change and blah blah. No. Nowadays it is all online. कोई सामने एओ नहीं बैठा है आपके. So it's all through portal. Whatever you want to do the correction in your return, you need to file a revised return. You cannot do it through the letter. Okay. Nice, clear. Chalo. So how many types of returns are over orally? Original return, due date and all. Then loss return we have discussed, belated return and revised return. I took more time for loss return. I feel it's important. And this week I have told you salary, business head and deductions. Revision video should be over. Next week I'll give you set off and all. So planned way में साथ में करो. Okay? So that you will cover up everything. Chalo, next now we are doing is 10 more minutes and then we will close for today. Return of income other than this. You know, like there are trusts, schools, colleges, hospitals, educational institute, your TTT trust. They are having crores of rupees of income. But they get exemptions because they are working for the object of trust and all. And finally, their income is like negligible and they don't pay any tax. But actually their income is huge. So do they need to file the return? Answer is yes. So many times like TTD is having a business section, no, who is selling laddus and books and calendars and all. So do they need to do the audit? Yes. Do they need to file the return? Yes. So all these people are covered under 139 4 series. 4A. Charitable trust. Person deriving income from property under a trust or by way of voluntary contribution, return of income should be filed if total income exceeds maximum amount not chargeable to tax before giving effect to the provisions of 11 and 12. Political party, CEO or the secretary and all. So political party, should they file the return? Yes. Maximum income of the political party is exempt under 11-12. If before getting the exemption, suppose if political party's income is 5 lakh and section 11 में they have availed the income of 4 lakh and charitable trust है तो 12A में exemption मिलता है ना उनको, sorry 12 to registration है, so they get exemptions and their total income is 1 lakh and tax is nil. For all of them, basic exemption is applicable, 2,50,000. Still, should they file the return? Answer is yes. And if their turnover exceeds 1 crore and all and books of accounts are audited, then anyways, audit ke liye filing the return is. Research institute, news agency, professional association, Khadi village, mutual fund, Ventura Capital, just read this list. They all need to file the return. Universities, business trust. Business trust we will do in detail, writ and all. Investment fund, they need to file the return. They are required to file the return. Yes. Okay. Where these trust and all accounts are subject to audit, they will file the return in October. Otherwise, they will file the return in July. Such return will be treated as par and all the provisions will be applicable. This is asked in MCQs. Penalty under 272A 100 for every day during which default continues, along with 234F fees तो लगता ही है 1,000. You remember 234F fees? If your total income is up to 5 lakh and if you file the return late, 1,000 is the fee, or 5,000 if your income exceeds 5 lakh. 234F fees तो रहेगी, but in case of 4A and 4C, go back to 4A please all of you. 4A में जाओ, कौन है? चैरिटेबल ट्रस्ट, और यहाँ पे लिख दो ₹100 per day is the penalty if they don't file the return on the due date. Same 134C, all these agencies, ₹100 per day is the penalty during which default continues from due date till actual date of filing the return. And this penalty is along with 234F fees, along with 234A belated interest. Followed, penalty shall be imposed by joint commissioner after giving an opportunity of being heard in case of genuine reason and all that. ठीक है, ये routine है सब. AO has power to recommend for withdrawal of the approval. So 139(4)D, trust and all, if they see that trust activities are not as per the object of the trust, then can the commissioner cancel the registration? They will not be allowed to get ATGs, deductions and all that. Chalo, some questions we will do and then we will close. State whether filing of income tax return is mandatory. Okay, shall we start? These are objective questions. There are 5 bits. Take 4 minutes time ना, अभी और अभी के अभी solve करके आंसर बोलो. सिर्फ yes no yes no yes no लिख लो. Just yes no all you write. Yeah, you can refer. 139 4A 4B 4C 4D मालूम होना चाहिए. Trust is 4A. Those who don't know again. 4B is political party. 4C is all these research institute. 4D is specifically universities, trust, colleges, investment fund and all. Do it no on screen. If you're not having, abhi screen pe on hai na, to question number 4 first bit no, not required to file the return. B yes no likho. I'm hearing. Try karo, read and do it. Finished? Some of you are waiting. Dipti ma'am bolte hain. Inter-class also it happened. Today I was taking pre-construction interest. So I said, do on your own. पता है 5 मिनट के बाद मैम तो करेंगे ही ना. फिर भी आप try करो. Research association eligible for exemption is having total income 260. And they might get exemption in 139 4C. But before exemption income was more, no? So answer is yes. Registered trade union eligible for exemption under 1024. Income from house property computed. 60,000. Income from other sources is 40,000. It is eligible for exemption, registered trade union. 139 4C mein. But what is their income? 1 lakh. So no need to file the return. Before exemption, if the income exceeds 2 lakh, 50,000. Charitable trust registered under 12A. Now the registration is 12B, new one. It's not कि 12A has gone, 12A, 12B दोनों लिखते हैं. So trust का income कितना है? 270. So 139 4A में, yes, they have to file the return. Please just don't copy the answer. Are you justified or not? Before the exemption, if the income exceeds basic exemption 250, answer is yes. LLP with a business loss of 1,30,000. Yes, they need to file the return. कहाँ पे? 139.1, first page of the chapter. Company and partnership firm, they should file the return. Mandatory. And to carry forward the losses, yes, 139.3 losses. Universities 46 lakhs before giving the exemption. Yes. 139.4D. I told you. Universities, colleges, all will come in 139.4D. So they have to file the return. Is it super duper easy topic or not? Only case laws, little bit they can twist, and the beautiful part is 2 case laws each of 2 mark or 3 mark. So like this bit may they break and give this chapter. MCQs have told you. Kiara is engaged in business of growing and grounding the coffee. You know, when these kind of comes, what is striking in your mind? Can you put it in chat box? After mixing chicory, coffee, grounded, powdered and all, total income is 325. And she has only this source of income. Okay, March 22, they have given so many places. This is like every year's task. Whatever we change, something is like missing. She consults you to have an opinion whether she is required to file the return or not. I don't have any idea. I cannot help Kiara. Students should help. Which topic is relevant here, dear students? Anyone in the class can recollect initial basic lectures of interclasses? Huh? Thank you. Such a quick answer. Agricultural income. Growing coffee beans is agricultural activity. Then grounding the coffee beans, roasting and powdering and all. And selling the coffee powder mixed with chicory. It is commercial activity. Tata tea. Growing tea leaves is agricultural activity. But then cutting the tea leaves, drying it in the machine and you get granule Tata tea. It's a commercial activity. So for these kind of rubber plantation. So for this coffee, which is grounded and all, 60% is exempt. 40% is taxable. Very good, very good, very good. And this is the way they test you. मैम अब फाइनल में कहाँ याद है? इसीलिए तो आप सबको इंटर के रिविजन लेक्चर्स दिए हैं. एंड रिविजन लेक्चर्स आई हैव एडेड 3-4 hours व्यू टाइम. जितने बार देखना है देखो वापस. And this agricultural income and all CMA inter recent classes, if you check the playlist in YouTube, just one class of 1.5 hours, you will revise this. So 3,25,000 into what is the taxable income? 40%, right over here. 3,25,000 into 40%. 1,30,000 is taxable income. Is she required to file the return? Answer is no. not required to file the return. Not required to file the return. Nice. 60-40. If it is just coffee grown and all, then 75 and 25. Tea also 60-40. Rubber plantation, it is 65-35. Rates you should know. State whether following SSC have to file the return. A public charitable trust under Education Institute with annual receipt of 65 lakhs. Total income 325. Are the accounts of trust liable to be audited? Answer is yes. You know, in case of trust, if you want to avail the exemption, you need to get your books audited. Forget about the turnover and gross receipts. अगर आपका ट्रस्ट है, योगा सिखा रहे, whatever you are doing, you want to claim exemption, no, even if it is a temple and all, get your books audited, then only. So if the books are audited, return to bharna padega. Yes. What they are asking? Yes, tax audit and filing of return mandatory. It is mandatory to file the return and do the audit. Next, registered trade union having income from LOP 1 lakh. So it's a trade union, and trade union is having income 1 lakh from rental income. Anyhow, property incomes and all for trade union is exempt. So what is there? But before the exemption also, how much is the income? It's only 1 lakh. So do they need to file the return? Answer is no, not required, as it is less than 2 lakh 50,000. Public trust hospital annual receipt 2 crores, 200 lakhs, and availing exemption and all. Answer is yes. To avail the exemption, return filing, and yes for the tax audit also. Tomorrow you will not be able to see this answers, and I don't save this my handwritten material. I'm not saving. आपको clear है ये answers? Updated return, I'll start the class with tomorrow, including PAN. Can we complete 5 minutes with this last one, defective return? Orally, I can say. इसमें, you know, two conflicting things are there. Listen, all of you. 139.9 says your return will be treated as defective return if you don't give all the details. That is, if your books of accounts are audited, then tax audit report. If it is a partnership firm, then partner's capital account. If you are getting rental income and interest on loan, then the bank's certificate for repayment of loan, principal ATC may deduct hoga interest. So like this, defective return is if all the columns are not fulfilled and all the information is not furnished. It will be treated as defective return as if you have not furnished. Now here the contradicting thing is, ma'am, but you said everything is e-filing. So online return, how many documents we will attach? Then department has clarified, along with online return, minimum whatever proofs they are asking, you need to scan and upload. And remaining all the proofs should be with me. If the AO is asking, I should give, but we should have ready. If I have availed, you remember, if house is sold, I need to buy the house, but I'm not getting a good house. अच्छे वास्तु के साथ मुझे घर नहीं मिल रहा है. Can I put the money in the CGA scheme, capital gain account scheme? Yes, I should have a receipt because I am claiming huge exemption in 54. So this is the contradicting thing. Whenever there is defect in the return, AO has got power to intimate the defect to SSC, give him 15 days time to to fill up all the gaps and give all the details and do correction. If still it is not done, it will be treated as defective return. That's a simple story. एक बार देखो. AO officer will consider Return as defective return if the return is furnished without paying self-assessment tax. Along with interest. This is very important. When you file the return, you need to pay tax, no? Otherwise, the return will be treated as defective return. And if annexure statements and columns in the returns are not duly filed, either nil or not applicable, you have to write proper. Or return is not accompanied by computation of income, tax audit report, cost audit report, TDS, advanced tax, CGS. But now you don't have to attach this proof, because whatever TDS is deducted is auto dropped in 26 AS. CGS and all, keep the proof with you, followed or not. You should have this, otherwise the return is treated as defective. But you don't have to upload all this in the online return. Where regular books are maintained, detail of manufacturing, trading, P&L, balance sheet, personal accounts of proprietor, partner, and all. This one is added, so I have written it in bold. I'm just reading it for you. Tomorrow, when I teach you updated return, if it is clear, not clear, sorry, ask me again. What they say? If return is filed under 139.8A, that is this next one, updated return, added now. It is not accompanied by proof of payment of tax as required under 140B. It will be treated as defective return. Clear है आप सबको? It will be treated as defective return. So normal 139.1 return, pay the tax, self-assessment tax under 140A. Otherwise return is treated defective. 139.8A updated return if you are filing, pay the tax under 140B. Otherwise the return will be treated defective. Can you please write this in your notes so that parallelly it will be clear. ये वाला तो सबको मालूम है. I filed my return on time, but I did not pay the tax. Then my return is treated as defective. Return is filed on time, but it will be treated as defective. 139.8A. Updated return you have filed, but you have not paid the tax. Updated return, government is asking you to file so that you pay the tax. You cannot show any loss in updated return and all. AO may intimate the defect in return of income to SSC, and within 15 days or within such extended time, SSC may be called upon to rectify the defect. If defect is not rectified, the AO shall treat the return as invalid. However, if SSC rectifies the defect and all, then it is allowed, treated. Eighth point is important. Currently, as the SSC is required to file e-return, no proof is required to be attached with return. However, SSC should retain these documents, proof or return with himself. So you need not attach everything. Ma'am, you said such a big list, ye sab lagana padega, answer is no. If called for by the authority, it shall be incumbent upon the SSC to furnish or produce the same. Before we close, take a pause. Is the class clear or not for today? Loss return, too much in depth we have gone. Even if you are not allowed to carry forward the return losses because you didn't file the return on time, still set off can be done. इस पे भी MCQ बना के पूछते हैं. And unabsorbed depreciation and house property, go. You are छोटे छोटे ना जाओ. Even if you have filed the return date. Like this, some joke way, some essay way में, if you revise this lecture within 24 hours, you are done for the exam. Okay. And with this material, institute's material, past exam, and I want all of you to please have the past June 18, December 18, 19, Abhi 21, the papers and the suggested answer on your table. Clear to all of you? Hard copies should be there so that you can refer, okay, related to return, and two sets are available for the mock test, set 1, set 2. From that also many times the questions are repeated. So have those hard copies, prepare super well for your exam. Surely you all should clear with exemption. I'm telling you. Because last batch, the result was very good. But to be honest, they didn't write so many exams as you are writing. still they could manage 58, 59, 54. Then why not 60 above for all of you? Hmm? Yes. And with this, definitely balance all your other subjects also. I know it is little easy for me to say, but tough hai aapke liye. Plan and stick to it and work hard like anything. This is a quality good time to study. That's all for today. Thank you so much. Any doubts are there? Anyone in the class? Put it in the chat box, unmute and say no. Then we are closing. Tomorrow we'll continue with updated return.